Congratulations! You've already chosen a fantastic domain name for your minimum viable product, and the next step is to launch a website where you can start talking about your product, building your product, selling your product, collecting emails, and all of those wonderful things that you need to do in order to start an online business. The center of the online business is your website, so you can either hire somebody to set up the website for you, but actually now this is pretty straightforward and actually very affordable. We're going to use Wordpress, which is a free tool to create websites, and is very widely used. Almost a third of all the websites in the world use WordPress, and I'm going to show you in this series of videos how to set up a WordPress site. The first thing you need to do is actually buy the domain that you chose and that was available. Then you're going to buy the web host. In my case, I'm going to use hostgator.com. Then you're going to point the domain that you bought separately. In my case, I buy them in namecheap.com. Point that domain to the web host. You're going to add that domain to the web host. Then you're going to install WordPress. So let's do that. But before we do that, let me show you how everything looks in a diagram. That will help you visualize what we're building here. So a website is made of two main components, a web host and a domain. The domain points to the web host. So when people type that domain name in their browser, it actually takes them to a set of files, which is your website. And there you go. That's basically all you need to get started. But the reality is that there's some other moving parts that are crucial. If you want to collect emails, then you need to have a newsletter or a way of collecting emails from your website, and then you can send a newsletter. Also, it's very important to track all your traffic, your conversions, where people are coming from, basically how your website is performing, and for that you have to install some kind of analytics. The next step is to set up your email account within your web host. And then the next thing I do is I forward the email I get there to my Gmail account. And the reason why I do that is because in my case, I have several email accounts, several websites, and I want them all to point to one place so I don't have to check a bunch of different emails in all over the place. It's just more convenient. But you can do it whichever way you want. You can have Outlook or Mail for Mac and then use that as your mail client and download all the emails that you get from your web host. Why is it important to create your email within your web host? Is because you want to make sure that the address of your email corresponds with your domain name. So if your domain name is domain.com, you want to make sure that all the email addresses related to that product match that domain. So in your case, it would be your name at yourdomain.com. It looks just more professional. And I'm going to show you how to set that up. It's actually very simple. In terms of what tools and companies I use to set up all of these systems, I use HostGator to host the website, Namecheap to buy the domain, WordPress to set up the website, and to collect emails and send newsletters, MailChimp. To track analytics and traffic and everything, all the parameters that are important about my website, I use Google Analytics, which is a free tool from Google, and obviously Gmail to collect all the emails. Now, let's say that you want to sell products within your website using WordPress. There's many e-commerce plugins available. One of the most popular one is called WooCommerce. And then another thing you're going to have to do in order to sell stuff is provide a way for people to be able to pay you via credit card or PayPal. PayPal admits credit cards, but if anybody that pays needs to create a PayPal account. Anyways, it's a very common way of paying, but you will need to set an account in order to be able to collect money. There's other solutions like Stripe that you can set up, but anyways, this would be the most basic website diagram that I can think of, and the one that I've been using for several of my websites successfully for several years. And now let's start building our website. Hey, did you enjoy this video? If you want to see more like this, just subscribe here. If you want a free gift, click here. Yeah. Which one is going to be the one?